Tonight on News 5 Live, St. Bite murder at establishment that was open after curfew. Police trying to identify elderly man beaten in video. 2 children missing in Valley of Peace. And GOB responds to allegations of not properly consulting with Maya communities. These stories and more coming up next on News 5 Live.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
What if the profits of your bank were shared equally with you instead of with unknown shareholders and large corporations? What if those profits remained in Belize to enrich the communities where we live? What if just having an account with your bank meant that you were now a part owner of that bank? What if your voice mattered and you had a say in how your bank is being run? What if your bank was always looking out for your best interests and its biggest goal was to see you succeed? That's what it means to be part of a credit union where all of our members are in this together. Communities work best when they work for each other. Cooperation strengthens us all. Discover the credit union difference and find out just how stronger we can be together.
Las tradiciones son atemporales, pero mantenerse al día es necesario. DigiWallet me permitirá hacer todas mis compras favoritas. Es fácil y seguro. Solo es agregar dinero a mi DigiWallet y ya puedo irme de compras en mis tiendas locales favoritas. Oye tú, a mi familia le encanta. A mí también. Es nuestra nueva tradición. DigiWallet, próximamente.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, January 31st. I am Sabrina Daly. In the wee hours of Sunday, a lone gunman carried out a brazen murder in St. Bite village in the Stan Creek district. Residents were gathered at GP's establishment on the main road in the village when Ernest Stain was shot multiple times and died on the spot, while Alric Munnings was shot once and survived the ordeal. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Around 12:30 on Sunday morning, shots rang out in St. Bite Village. 2 persons were targeted as they stood among many others at an establishment in the village. As was recounted to News 5 this morning, Ernest Stain was struck once before the gunman turned his gun on Alric Munnings. After Munnings was hit once to the body, the gunman reportedly then stood over Stain and emptied the gun. His sister, Shelmadine Jones, got the call around 1 a.m.
When I get the call about after one, when my sister-in-law called me and tell me they call she and tell she they shot my brother dead. I asked her, stop. I tell her like this, please stop tell like. He say yes for true. I tell her no. He say yes for true. And I just turn on my phone and start crying for then. I don't really sleep. I don't have appetite for eat. Now my oldest brother, my oldest picnic. When he shot her, I see he drop. He get over and finish her. So like you mean to do it.
So definitely no mistaken identity?
No mistake. If there be a mistake, why? When you shot her, you say I drop. Why you never gone? You walk over and finish her. No mistake. He mean to do it. So I want to know why he do it.
Police responded to the scene of the crime shortly after. By that time, Munnings had already been rushed to the Southern Regional Hospital for treatment. He remains in a stable condition at this time.
They saw the motionless body of Ernest Stain. Initial investigation revealed that Stain and his friend Alric Munnings were with the owner of a bar socializing under a shed when a lone gunman entered the yard and fired several shots in their direction, fatally injuring Stain to the body, and Munnings got injured to his neck.
Residents say that Stain was no troublemaker and has been living in the village with his common-law wife for about 5 years. But based on the information shared with the family so far, it is believed that Stain was the intended target. So what's the motive behind the killing?
My brother, no fool with people. My brother work for home, for work, home, work. And I want to ask the person that killed my brother why. What my brother do he killed my brother. Cause my brother don't fool with people. My brother laugh and talk to everybody. So I want to know why. I just want to ask her why. They don't know how they hurt me. I don't got no my big brother to go talk to. I go tell my brother if anybody tell me anything or do me anything, I got no brother to go talk to. I want to miss my brother.
When it comes to the motive for this murder, we haven't gathered much so far. We do have a person of interest that we're searching for, but that's as much as I can say on this investigation, because this person is not yet in police custody. And when it comes to identity of persons wanted on murder, we try not to put too much information out there that could detriment the process if this person is found and charged. No?
I would want to find the person. We need justice because they killed my brother for nothing. Nothing. Because people say I have no problem up here with nobody. So why?
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The murder occurred after 12 midnight on Sunday, which is well into the curfew that began at 10 p.m. Assistant Superintendent Fitzroy Yearwood says that the incident could have possibly been avoided, as the victims made themselves easy targets for the gunmen by staying out. The law says they should have been at home.
It's a repeated problem, especially in these rural communities where our police officers are stretched thin doing their patrols. People take advantage of it, and they are out during curfew hours and as if there is no curfew. They make themselves easy targets because at this time you have minimal movement in the streets, and of course if you have a problem with someone else, then there is not much hindrance that would cause your, so to speak, enemy to find you during curfew hours. We keep advising people to adhere to the curfew rules. We ask them to stay in their homes during curfew hours. We even ask these owners of these establishments to close these places an hour before curfew to allow their employees to go home. But we keep seeing where the owners of these establishments take advantage, especially if they live near to their place of business, and they remain on their premises. Then they would say that they're at home, and it creates a lot of problem for the police. And in this instance, we have a life loss. No?
A police corporal lost his life in a single vehicle traffic accident last Friday on the George Price Highway. The off-duty officer was reportedly heading home and nearing Roaring Creek when he lost control and crashed. The police department's communications director, Assistant Superintendent Fitzroy Yearwood, shared the details this morning.
Police receive information of a fatal traffic accident at the roundabout when heading towards Roaring Creek. When they got there, they saw the motionless body of Police Corporal, I just get his identity, please. Solomon Ikal, 36 years. Also on the scene, police observed a blue motorcycle, believed to be his, and initial investigation revealed that he was driving that cycle heading towards Valley of Peace when he collided into a pillar, concrete pillar, that caused his fatal injuries. The officers have secured blood and urine sample, and a toxicology report is what we are waiting for to determine whether or not alcohol may have contributed to this accident. No?
It dates back to the days of ancient civilizations and has happened in Belize before. But over the weekend, tomb robbers, showing no respect for the dead, desecrated a grave at the Lord Ridge Cemetery. It reportedly happened at nightfall, just after Winston Tanga James was interred, following a spirited funeral procession with live images showing the placement of cash and valuables in his casket. Marian Ali has the story in the following report.
Welcome the girls and sugar. The girl them near this.
He was the street figure who was sought in death as he was in life, as the grave of the man that the nation came to know as Tanga was broken into less than a day after he was laid to rest. Winston James was gunned down as he drove along West Canal on Friday, January 21st. He was buried on Saturday with a whole lot of cash and jewelry placed in the casket as the event aired live on Facebook. And 8 hours later, grave robbers broke into the tomb and stole the money and items. Andrew Munnings of Munnings Funeral Services and Live Events and Designs shared the disturbing discovery via a live post on Facebook on Sunday and said that with permission from the Ministry of Health, they exhumed the casket to see the damage that had been done.
Upon arriving here just now, we realized that the bricks that we had placed there was not the original bricks that we had sent, which truly means automatically we realized that the tomb was tampered with. The flowers that was inside the tomb was now outside the tomb. So upon opening the tomb, we realized that the casket was not placed how we placed it. So we opened the casket and all jewelry, all the cash that was set on Tanga yesterday, someone came in the course of last night and early this morning to rob Tanga of all his belongings.
The thieves, who spotted a police mobile in the area, reportedly fled the scene, and the police department's communication director, Assistant Superintendent Fitzroy Yearwood, says that the police could not establish if anything was stolen at that time. Nonetheless, the officer urges the family to file an official report of the tomb robbery so that they can investigate.
We would encourage some relative or maybe even the undertaker to come and make a complaint to the police. Of course, we are not ignoring the fact that police officers did respond to a call of disturbance sometime after 2 a.m. yesterday, Sunday the 30th. Our officers, when arriving at the scene at the cemetery, they saw some people running away from that area. If you're familiar with that cemetery, you would know that if the officers entered via vehicle, they would hear and see the police coming from a distance. So those persons made good their escape.
While the family members are hoping that the jewelry items will show up at pawn shops for traceability, they had to endure the pain of the vandalism and robbery after they were called out to the cemetery on Sunday, and they decided to remove all remaining valuables from the casket. Worse than that, however, was that they had to bury their loved one a second time. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Coming up, the government responds to claims that they did not do full consultations with Maya leaders for the free informed consent protocols. Details when we return.
In the moments that matter the most, for your health and well-being, when the choice is yours, choose the brand you have always trusted. Crystal Water. Taste you can trust.
Enter 2022 bold, knowing that MAGA season got nothing on you. Why? Because you can get a 0-interest loan as a first-time customer when you apply at Quickstop Personal Finance Center. All you need to do is pay back what you borrowed interest-free. So don't forget to visit a branch near you or apply online at quickstoponline.com and run MAGA season through the door. Quickstop Personal Finance Center. No hassle loans.
Congrats to all our December winners of BEL's Customer Rewards. Petronilo Tuz from Orange Walk won the electric washer and dryer combo. Yvonne August from Belize City won the electric stove. Melissa Arana from Dangriga won the 65-inch smart TV. Abram Dyke from Blue Creek won the 22,000 BTU air conditioner. Del Marie McNeil from Belize City won the side-by-side fridge. Ulri Bennett from Belmopan won the laptop. Norman Benguche from Punta Gorda won the toaster oven. Deborah Ordonez from Belize City won the microwave. Barbara Arop from Belize City won the Hunter ceiling fan. And Laura Godfrey from Placencia won the $400 voucher for LED lights. Look out for more BEL customer rewards in 2022 and how you can get chances to win.
Who who offers the best mobile experience in Belize? You don't know? Well, the truth is, Digi, our national telecom, of course. Digi has the largest mobile LTE advanced network with over 96% countrywide coverage, offering the fastest mobile LTE data speeds at the most affordable rates with mobile plans that fit your lifestyle. The truth is, only Digi gives the ultimate mobile LTE experience. Visit your nearest Digi store to join the bigger, better network today. Digi, our national telecom. Visit us online at www.livedigi.com.
Beep disinfectant spray is certified by a U.S. EPA compliant lab to kill the coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Beep for a happy, healthy home.
I visited the land of Serbia, a great many miles away. I ascended the Mount Everest few people have conquered. I roared on the snow-covered Antarctic and Arctic. I rolled swiftly across the vast, untamed desert. Ling Long Tire conquers every corner of the world.
Distributed by Enrique Martinez and Sons Limited, 2 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize City.
New Year's is a time for us to make hearty resolutions that will help us better our lives, and then promptly forget about them. However, there are some resolutions we shouldn't forget about. Join us for our new series, 100%, where we'll be talking about being 100% in on things like our relationship with God, our spouses, finances, and more. Tune in at 10 a.m. right here on Channel 5 Belize.
For a second time in less than 12 months, Mesopotamia Area Representative Shine Barrow is set to assume the office of the Leader of the Opposition. His swearing-in ceremony at the Belize House is scheduled for Tuesday morning, when he will be administered the oath of office by Governor General Forla Salam. Former party leader and disgraced Collet Area Representative Patrick Faber was expected to tender his resignation to the GG, stepping down from his post as Leader of the Opposition. Likewise, he was expected to formally turn in his letter to the UDP chairman, Mike Parafit, by today. When we spoke with Parafit earlier today regarding the notice, he told News 5 via text message, quote, "Not to me, he hasn't, but I'll take his word that his resignation will be effective as today," unquote. Parafit said he would not be available for comment until after a meeting on Tuesday. The Caucus for Change, an arm of the United Democratic Party, which represents 19 constituencies, is throwing its support behind Shine after meeting with him and Albert Area Rep Tracy Panton, who is also challenging the leadership of the party. Panton has indicated she is very interested in taking over the leadership of the party. In a social media post earlier today, Panton wrote, quote, "2 persons have been publicly accused of domestic violence. 1 has been forced to resign. The United Democratic Party that I am privileged to serve has a leadership crisis. We are at a critical crossroad in our organization's political history. There is an urgent need for us to reestablish the party's credibility as a mass political party. There is an urgent need for us to regain the trust and confidence of the Belizean people if we are to remain a viable alternative to govern. We need to inspire hope among those who look to us for leadership," unquote. The Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs has responded to the claims put forward by the Toledo Alcaldes Association and the Maya Leaders Alliance during Friday's press conference. As we reported on January 27th, the Briceño administration has approved the Free, Prior and Informed Consent Protocol. Otherwise known as FPIC, it is a specific right that pertains to Indigenous peoples, and it is recognized in the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. With a protocol in place, FPIC allows the Maya communities in southern Belize to give or withhold consent on matters that may affect them or their territories. During Friday's virtual event, MLA spokesperson Christina Koch emphatically stated that there was a lack of consultation on the part of the Commission of Indigenous Peoples Affairs prior to the submission of a final document to the government of Belize. That document, once presented to the Caribbean Court of Justice, whose consent order is being implemented, is considered definitive. The TAA and MLA have raised strong objections. On the other hand, Minister Dolores Balderramos Garcia, whose portfolio oversees Indigenous Peoples Affairs, set out this morning to dismiss the idea that there weren't adequate consultations with the various communities and their respective organizations in Toledo District.
Please let me dispel any notion at this point that there has been a lack of consultation. Everything on the table you can see is the series of consultations with all our Maya partners and sisters and brothers and all the organizations of the South, starting as far back as February or March of last year. As a matter of fact, I vividly recall, I believe it may have even been in January of last year, we had a meeting with some of the members of the Maya Leaders Alliance, including Mr. Pablo Miss and Ms. Christina Koch at the George Price Center, when the very topic of discussion was the FPIC protocol. And you can see for yourselves that consultation has continued from all of last year. We submitted a draft of the FPIC protocol to the CCJ by September. There were further consultations because of certain objections that were made by some of the organizations at the time. There was a hearing of the Caribbean Court of Justice on the 23rd of November, at which time the court gave us the deadline. Well, we don't want to call it a deadline, but they gave us until the end of January, which is today, no? To file the free prior informed consent protocol, which we have done. So please allow me to repeat, any notion of a lack of consultation, there could be nothing further from the truth.
Next on GOB's agenda is the completion of a Maya customary land tenure policy. Notwithstanding the controversy surrounding the fee, prior and informed consent protocol, the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs is on schedule to complete this task by February 28th, the deadline.
This government, I want to assure you, is serious about the implementation of the consent order in a respectful way, but absolutely in an inclusive way. We do not wish to deal with only certain leaders. We wish to deal with all the various communities. Commissioner here is from the South. He is familiar with all, how many villages? 41? He is familiar with all 41 Maya villages of Toledo. I myself, within the past year, have visited 14 of those communities and held respectful consultations, hearing the views of the people. Now, you will know that everybody in the South and in the Maya villages are not speaking with one voice. There are various opinions and views. But I want to assure you that at all times, we have listened to the people. We are also looking, ladies and gentlemen, at what we call the Maya customary land tenure policy. And that policy, again, we have to consult. We believe in consultation. And again, the court has given us until the end of February to file the Maya customary land tenure policy, and we intend to comply. We're not going to kick the can down the road for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years. We are serious about implementation. It's not going to be easy, but I believe that with goodwill, we can get it done.
At the heart of the ongoing dispute over the FPIC protocol and the Maya customary land rights issue is the Commission of Indigenous Peoples Affairs. Succeeding Lisel Alamia as commissioner, Greg Chok-ok, the former executive director of the Sarstoon Temash Institute for Indigenous Management, has been tasked with spearheading the effort to formulate the FPIC protocol. The contention, Chok says, has to do with the classification and role of the alcalde system and its differentiation with the Toledo Alcaldes Association.
Argument has been propagated that the alcalde system or the system of governance and the Toledo Alcalde Association is the same. That is not accurate. TAA, the Toledo Alcalde Association, is an association. An association is not the system of governance of the Maya people. We have to be clear on that. They're not the same. One's a system, one's an association. This central principle of Maya customary law state that the villagers in a village are the only authority to make decisions on behalf of that village on any matter that may affect them. So the villagers is the supreme authority, not the leaders. It's fundamental because it goes to the crux of the issues that has been laid before the public. The villagers of the villages of Toledo have not taken the decision for the TEA to be the alcalde system. Not that it cannot happen. If the villagers are the authoritative body, then only the villagers can decide whether the TEA becomes the system of governance for the Maya people. That has to be fundamentally clear. The Maya Leaders Alliance, an entity that I established, is an umbrella organization. Its membership is comprised of Mayan organization working with communities, the villages of the Toledo district. I am not only saying that. There's a document there where the 10 point of agreement was signed, and you will see the Mayan organization representing the community. But they had to have obtained the consent of the community. I led the effort. The MLA did not sit in a room and negotiate with the government of Belize.
According to Cha'ok, the Maya Leaders Alliance is an umbrella organization comprised of several organizations that are in fact the appellants in the Maya land rights case. On that basis, he says the government of Belize is duty-bound to consult with the individual groups.
The record is before the court who the appellants are under the MLA. It is the Kekchi Council of Belize, the Toledo Alcaldes Association, the Toledo Maya Women's Council, the Julian So Society. Satim was not there for some reason. Tumulkin Center of Learning, perhaps erroneously, was put in there. But these Mayan organizations came under the umbrella of the Maya Leaders Alliance before the court.
Toledo Maya Cultural Council.
Toledo Maya Cultural Council. So, if you look at the 10 points of agreement, the membership of the Maya Leaders Alliance has evolved. In 2000, for example, there was no GSES, but it was organized somewhere around 2005. It was accepted to be a member of the Maya Leaders Alliance because we have always been about inclusivity. We always believe in including every community organized group working with the community in the South. So all the organizations that I mentioned are appellants before the court. So the government of Belize is legally bound to consult with them. It's not a choice. We can't select who we should consult. They fall under the umbrella of the Maya Leaders Alliance.
After the break, police need the public's help in locating a man beaten in a video and 2 children missing from the Valley of Peace. Stay with us.
Despite our best efforts, we often let our guards down. Reaching in for hugs and unavoidable encounters expose us to COVID-19, and not knowing our status can be scary. Quality rapid antigen tests, such as ST Biosensor, have provided a quick way to find out our COVID-19 status. And now, with the introduction of the FDA-approved Acula Rapid PCR test, finding out your COVID-19 status using PCR is also quick and easy. The Acula Rapid PCR test delivers results in just 30 minutes to identify patients who are COVID-19 positive. The Acula Rapid PCR test will further strengthen Belize's testing capabilities and benefit Belizeans as we attempt to resume doing the things we love and enjoy. Through quality, reliable tools like the ST Biosensor antigen test, the Acula Rapid PCR test, heroic frontline workers, and responsible government and citizenry, together, we will successfully manage COVID-19.
Enter 2022 bold, knowing that MAGA season got nothing on you. Why? Because you can get a 0-interest loan as a first-time customer when you apply at QuickStop Personal Finance Center. All you need to do is pay back what you borrowed interest-free. So don't forget to visit a branch near you or apply online at quickstoponline.com and run MAGA season through the door. QuickStop Personal Finance Center. No hassle loans.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway, from Roaring Creek to Esperanza, has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times, and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Hospital Galenia es el único hospital de Quintana Roo en contar con la más completa unidad de medicina nuclear, poniendo a su alcance la mejor tecnología especializada de diagnóstico y tratamiento de enfermedades, en las que se utilizan cantidades muy pequeñas de radiofármacos para diagnosticar anomalías dentro del cuerpo. Hospital Galenia, más que un hospital.
The ministry is collaborating with SpeedNet Communications to have a vaccination campaign for children ages 12 to 17 years. Children who get vaccinated will get a chance to win fabulous prizes, including backpacks with supplies, Nintendo Switch, tablets, book tuitions, and MiFi with 3 months data. Only children 12 to 17 years old can participate in this smart and Ministry of Health and Wellness raffle. At vaccination sites, each vaccinated child, upon being vaccinated, will receive a ticket to place their name, age, date of birth, BHIS number, and contact information on, which will be filled out by a parent or legal guardian. The sooner a person vaccinates, the more chances he or she will have to win. Get vaccinated, please. Vaccination saves lives.
The Minister of Immigration has provided an update on the situation of the remaining Venezuelans who were refused entry into Belize on January 18th. The ministry says that all the passengers have now left the country. On January 22nd, 16 of the initial groups were left behind. 8 were handed over to Help for Progress after they told UNHCR representatives that they were seeking asylum in Belize. The other 8 remained contained at the Biltmore because they had tested positive for COVID-19. As you would recall, 2 days later, the Venezuelans left the Help for Progress compound in Belmopan and reportedly crossed the border into Mexico. But there was an interesting turn of events last week when the UNHCR National Office requested that 7 of the 8 Venezuelans at Biltmore also be turned over to Help for Progress because they too were seeking asylum. Well, given what happened the previous week and UNHCR saying that it was unable to, quote, secure the stay of these asylum seekers in the Help for Progress shelter, unquote, GOB refused the request and the group, at the expense of Copa Airlines, was flown out to Panama via TAG Airlines on Saturday. Because the ministry is concerned others posing as tourists may attempt to also use Belize as a stopping-off point as they migrate elsewhere, Cabinet has given its approval for the Ministry of Immigration to impose visa requirements for nationals of Venezuela, Ecuador, and the Dominican Republic. Reports started circulating last week that an elderly man had been beaten inside a house on Kiskadee Street in Belmopan. He was seen bleeding on a vehicle on the street. There was even a video circulating. But somehow the report never made it to the police blotter. Today, Police Communications Director ASP Fitzroy Yearwood explained that the victim was never hospitalized and cannot be located. Yearwood said that investigators have been trying to come up with the necessary information. Now, they are turning to the public for that assistance.
I sent out a flyer again last week where I explained that there was no official report made to us. The identity of that person hasn't been established as yet. I spoke to Officer Commanding Belmopan as recent as Friday, where he's saying that nobody actually came to the station to make a formal complaint. Our 922 operator has sent out several flyers because we are trying to establish the identity of that person. As soon as we can establish his identity, then we will know how to go forward from there. But I need your help in spreading that flyer publicly so that maybe somebody would recognize him, some relative or so, and they can help us in identifying that person. We have community policing officers that are actively on the ground, that have canvassed house to house, trying to establish at least who that person was. And then we would be able to establish who the assailants are.
Police are asking for help locating 2 children who disappeared from their home in the Valley of Peace over the weekend. A flyer being circulated shows the photos of 10-year-old Dennis Josue Ayala and his sister, 9-year-old Vilma Rosemary. The children reportedly were last seen at their home on Sunday, but have not been heard from since. Anyone with information on their whereabouts is asked to contact the nearest police station. The COVID regulations for funerals now allow for more than 20 people, but in the past 2 weeks, there have been 2 funeral processions which looked more like street fetes, complete with public drinking and marijuana smoking by some attendees. At today's police press briefing, the department's communications director said they will address the matter.
We at the police department try our best to enforce social distancing and a lot of other stuff, like you rightfully mentioned, these public drinkings. And honestly, when I saw the video that you were referring to, where it looked like a juve, I honestly thought it was an old video. But you, the general public, you owe it to your family and to yourself to stay safe and healthy. And when you go out there and involve yourself in these irresponsible kind of behavior and, how to say, these clusters that you put yourself into, we at the police department can only do so much. For us to go into a situation like that, let's say at a funeral, where there are hundreds of people and you only have a deployment of so much police, that situation could turn volatile and then it could turn worse. So what we try to do is try to, how to say, just try to distance the people, try to talk to them. People were complaining at that same funeral on Saturday that they were doing some live event video and you can hear people talking over the pastor, people. We cannot control who goes to these events. We do not know who is related to the deceased. We can only ask you, the general public, don't put yourself out there if you don't have to. When only a certain amount of people were allowed to go to funerals, it was easier. But we have noticed that since the amount of people allowed to mourn have been opened, it's harder to control.
But sir, even if you don't want to address the amount of people attending the funeral, the issue of public drinking, the issue of smoking weed on the street, that's other violations that the police should enforce.
I do agree, Marianne, and that's up to the officers on the ground to deal with these, how to say, the breaking of the law in their prisons. I cannot answer for those officers out there, but we instill that they do their job with due diligence.
Police are investigating a report of a land dispute that prevented a family from leaving their home in Corozal. Reliable information reaching News 5 is that police were informed earlier today that access to the house in the Altamira area of the outskirts of the town had been blocked on Sunday. When police showed up to the premises, one of the family members told them that they had been locked in by their next-door neighbors, who chained and padlocked a gate in their yard. This is their only means of exit or entry. The padlock and chains were removed in the presence of police who are investigating what took place. In diaspora news, the nephew of well-known Belizean-American news anchor Candice Gibson was murdered in a New York nightclub over the weekend. News outlets in New York are reporting that the victim, 22-year-old Miles Gibson, was fatally stabbed during a dispute, allegedly involving a woman. The incident occurred at the Harbor Rooftop Terrace and Lounge on West 46th Street by 11th Avenue around 4 a.m. on Saturday. The unidentified assailant fled the scene and Gibson was rushed to the Bellevue Hospital, but succumbed to the injury. The New York Post says that, according to public records, Miles Gibson is one of 2 men charged in connection with the murder of DJ Oliver Askia outside Crystal Bar and Lounge in Morris Heights in November 2019. He was out on a $500,000 bail and was scheduled to reappear in court along with the second suspect, Luis Murillo, this Wednesday. Just ahead, border reopening pushback again. Find out why you won't be able to go to Chetumal or Melchor for another week. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
This weather update is brought to you by Smart. This weather update was brought to you by Smart.
February is all about Honda. Get up to 22% off selected Honda products in February, such as motorcycles, outboards, lawnmowers, trimmers, water pumps, and generators. Show your vehicle some love with Castrol. Spend $100 or more on Castrol oils and get a coupon for a free oil change. We are also offering service packages. All you have to do is purchase a Honda product or equipment and get the first 3 services free. Remember, it's Love Your Honda in February. So visit Benquip, 3 miles on the Philip Golson Highway to enjoy these great deals. Benquip, equipment, parts, service.
Hospital Galenia es el único hospital de Quintana Roo en contar con la más completa unidad de medicina nuclear, poniendo a su alcance la mejor tecnología especializada de diagnóstico y tratamiento de enfermedades, en las que se utilizan cantidades muy pequeñas de radiofármacos para diagnosticar anomalías dentro del cuerpo. Hospital Galenia, más que un hospital.
Child Development Foundation, or CDF as we are popularly known, has been partnering with Social Security Board since 2015. Social Security Board supports our child protection initiatives. They support us to build capacity for teachers and parents to identify the indicators of abuse. In particular, they support our counseling center so that we can provide trauma-focused counseling therapy to children who have been abused. Social Security has also supported our prevention program, the Rise Girls program, to help us to equip young women who are in primary and secondary school to understand more about adolescent development and also to build good self-esteem and to build safe social networks.
Over the past 6 years, we have established a partnership with the Social Security Board. It has assisted us in addressing some of their social welfare needs and health care needs of our older persons, specifically in Belize City, San Ignacio, and Belmopan. We have had the opportunity to do home visits with our geriatrician and physiotherapists. We distribute meals to them. We also have that opportunity to interact with them, to observe them. There are needs that may be identified. If we can address those, we do so.
Social Security has been one of our biggest donors throughout the years, and the services that they provide to us is basically financial, and it helps with a lot of things here at the center like bills and groceries. The center is a drop-in center for the mentally ill, elderly, homeless, deportees. They come here, they take a shower, they get their breakfast, they get their lunch, and they also do recreational stuff here at the center. They can watch television, they listen to music, they play games, and they just, interact with each other, because here it's like a family.
It's a fact that your credit lasts longer when using Smart. During these times, we're all trying to find ways to cut costs and save the little resources we have. With Smart, it's easy to do that. It's a fact that with Smart, your credit lasts longer. You can call Smart to Smart and Smart to Digi using your promo credit, while with the other guy, you can only call on-net, Digi, or BTL numbers. What does this mean? You get to call any national number using your promo credit. Your promo credit is free, so that call is also free. Know your facts. Don't be tricked by the other guy. Be smart and save your dollars.
First, it was January 1st, then February 1st. Now, yet another date has been set for the reopening of the borders with Mexico and Guatemala. The proposed new date is 1 week from today, Monday, February 7th. The Minister of Health and Wellness, Kevin Bernard, told News 5 via text over the weekend that this will, quote, allow Cabinet time to review the recommendations of the COVID Medical Advisory Team and to ensure that all preparations are set in place for a smooth reopening, unquote. Minister of Tourism Anthony Muller said it is only a week delay requested by the Ministry of Health.
It's just by 1 week, and we want to get things right before we open up to the flows to and from Mexico and to and from Guatemala specifically. And so it's just to get things right. So we delayed by 1 week.
But you all had been working on this for quite a while,
Yes.
so what are some of the things that we're going to be seeing? Of course, you've spoken about requiring people to be vaccinated and so, but what else?
You have a new Minister of Health and Wellness, and so he wanted to ensure that certain things are in place, that his ministry was ready at the borders, and so he asked for an additional week, and that's all.
Minister Muller also spoke about the cruise tourism industry amidst the spread of the Omicron variant. Unlike the devastating standstill experience in 2020, he says Omicron did not pose any major threat to the sector. In fact, he says only 2 ships did not dock in Belize.
It was very short wave, and we expected that just from the information that we've gotten. But cruise tourism is rebounding strongly, and I think the important thing is that we have shown the cruise industry that we are ready to work with them and that we are ready to build the protocols in place so that people can cruise safely throughout this part of the world.
Were we affected any at all?
No, not at all.
So all the cruise ships that were scheduled to come came, and we even got some more that others rejected.
I think we had 2 cancellations, but based on other things, and they had to return to the United States.
The Belize Tourism Board's health insurance mandate comes into effect on February 15th. It requires all visitors, even those with their own travel insurance, to pay $18 US for coverage of up to $50,000 US dollars in medical expenses related to treatment of COVID-19 for a period of 21 days. The plan will also cover lodging due to quarantine of up to $2,000 US dollars. Despite the low cost, the announcement of the new mandate prompted some pushback from some industry stakeholders. Many were concerned only one company would benefit from the new plan. The Minister of Tourism fielded questions on this concern today.
We have, and we continue to work with our private sector partners. BTIA is supporting it. A lot of members of BHA are supporting it. There is a group of them that don't support it, and I don't think everything that we do will be supported in totality by the industry. But we try to have full transparency. We continue to discuss this issue with the industry, and we think it is important because it provides a level of support in this very difficult time for especially hoteliers, because there's a cancellation component to it. So When the Omicron hit, we had a lot of cancellations and a lot of properties had to give back monies to people who would not be able to come to Belize again. And that created a strain on the industry. So we created that part and we're creating a safety net for people who visit Belize if they get Omicron or if they get any variant or if they get into an accident. And so I think this is at this very timely. Like I said, there's no exclusivity to one company. And I don't believe that we will keep this on forever. This will be a period where we think it is necessary. And as long as COVID is behind us, this will be removed as well.
Now, why was there a need to make it a Belizean company? I'm hearing you say that it won't be exclusive anymore to one company.
Well, I don't know where you got it. It was exclusive. We have opened it up, and as long as the international provider meets our requirement, what we want here in Belize, then they could participate as well.
Now, some tourists already purchased travel insurance, correct?
Yes, but a lot of it doesn't provide for the cancellation support.
Up next, need funding for tourism projects? The BTB may be able to help. Find out about the latest grants and how you can apply when we return.
How to register for an account online. Welcome to Iris Belize online portal user registration. This guide will provide a step-by-step on how to register your account on the Iris Belize portal. On the home page, click the Register for an Account button. This link will take you to the online registration form. Start filling the following details: your first and last name, your date of birth. Enter your name and date of birth as given on your Social Security card or birth certificate. Your mobile number. This will be used for request verification and important communications from Belize Tax Service. Your email address. This email address will be used to log in to the portal. Enter a password as per the specifications given. Reconfirm your password. This should be the same as the password field above. Enter the appropriate security answers to the 3 questions. Note, these questions will be used in the event you need to recover your password and validate your identity. When finished, check the Read and Agree box for the terms and conditions and privacy policy. Now, you can click the Submit My Registration button. Your user account registration has been sent. A confirmation email will be sent to the email address you entered. Open the email and click the Confirm Email Address button. You are now registered. For the final step, you will need to contact Belize Tax Service to link your tax account to your online profile. This process will take approximately 24 hours to link.
Enjoy using your integrated revenue information system. Effortless, easy, electronic, efficient processing of taxes for everyone. Iris Belize.
Video on demand. Coming soon.
How does the AstraZeneca vaccine work? The vaccine provides support to help your body develop immunity to the virus that causes COVID-19. The body is left with a supply of memory cells that will remember how to fight the virus.
It takes a few weeks for the body to produce the antibodies after vaccination. How long does it take to build immunity after taking the first dose of the vaccine? There is protection 14 days after a person's first dose. However, that initial protection may decline over time, which is the reason why it is so important to get the second shot. How long after the first dose should one take the second dose? The second dose should be given between week 8 and week 12. Are there any deaths associated with the AstraZeneca vaccine? There have been no deaths associated with the AstraZeneca vaccine. Vaccines save lives. They remain the safest, most effective, and cost-effective medical tool developed. Increased uptake of the vaccine is the best way to stop this pandemic, save lives, and return to normalcy.
Connecting people. Creating memories.
Guys, so here we are at the Glaze Out Kitchen. I just prepared this amazing broccoli.
Sharing a smile. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
The Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations has launched its Matching Grants program for small and medium-sized enterprises. The program is being financed through a $15 million loan under the Sustainable Tourism Project 2, launched back in March of 2016. News 5's Paul Lopez was at the Biltmore this morning where the program was launched. He found out what you need to do if you are in tourism and looking for funds.
The pandemic hit the economy to a great extent to the whole sectors, but in particular to tourism, as I said before. 2020 was a very bad year in terms of economic and social indicators. We have a two digits unemployment, and of course the poverty rate increased a lot. With this matching program that we are financing and we are providing technical assistance, we are trying to revert this condition to the economy.
To qualify, your business must first fall under 2 of the 4 Beltrade criteria for small business or medium enterprises.
That's the first eligibility. Secondly, you must be ready at hand with a project proposal, which means that you must have a project that can quantify, that can actually spell out the total cost, and out of that cost, the matching grant will finance 60% of the total of that project. The remaining 40% of that 40%, which is 16%, will be in cash contribution. So you must be able to contribute as part of your project. And the remainder of the matching is in kind contribution, which would include technical assistance, equipment, labor, the different ways in which you can match it.
According to Director of Tourism at the BTB, applications are available on the BTB website and must be submitted by February 21st.
The grant will aid in job creation and with its development objectives and improvement in such areas as bioprotocols, the environment, skills development, technology, market intelligence, economies of scale, will undoubtedly increase the competitive edge of small and medium enterprises. We therefore encourage all small and medium enterprises to pursue this opportunity.
In 2021, the Ministry of Tourism provided $650,000 in relief to the tourism sector. These funds were issued to over 400 micro and small enterprises. That program came to an end in December, but it revealed the need for further financing opportunities.
The unfortunate reality is that we received more applications than we had available to disburse. This is a clear indication that the MSME sector continues to have a high demand for support programs like this one, as it continues to find its footing after major market failures and bring itself back to a point of economic relevance.
but economic relevance, in my mind, is not enough. I maintain that if we seek only to recover what we have lost during the pandemic, we would not have embraced the opportunity for improvement, growth, and innovation that this economic shock has provided.
The Ministry of Tourism intends to execute the approved projects within the next 4 months, with the goal of assisting at least 100 businesses.
It's very important for you to be ready with the project proposal at hand, because these projects will need to be executed within the next 4 months going forward. It's an immediate grant that's available. And when Director mentioned the deadline for submission, that's the first phase. The eligibility of criteria process is you apply for you to be vetted, to be assisted by the full team that we have on board at the BTB. They will go over your process. If you need to call, we have a WhatsApp number there available as well on our website. And you can get a one-on-one assistance, because the idea is to be able to assist going around, the target is to assist around 100 SMEs with grants ranging from 18,000 up to 60,000 for single base enterprises, and as much as 100,000 beliefs when it comes to different enterprises or cooperatives working together.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
And there will also be funds for some culinary and cultural projects. The establishment of a food hub on Mahogany Street in Belize City and construction of 2 music studios are among the projects being financed.
The total is $3 million Belize dollars. A portion will go for a food hub, but fancy word, gastronomic corridor on Mahogany Street, that strip there where all the restaurants are. We're going to redo that, and then we want to do 2 major music studios across the country, one in Belize City and one in Dangriga, and then we'll help some other smaller music studios. Food is a part of tourism, culture is, and so we want to take that to the next level. Food, music, our local wines, even all the peppers and sauces that we do here in the country, herbs in terms of being a part of the product. I think that is crucial, and we want to invest in that area as well. We have a lot of talented musicians. They just don't have the opportunity to express themselves the way they can. $3 million in total. Yeah. A portion of it will go to, I think, maybe 400,000 to the gastronomic corridor and another 250,000 to the music studios. So, and then the rest goes to the matching grants.
We end tonight's newscast on a royal note. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William and Kate Middleton, are heading to Belize. International media reports are that the couple will be visiting Belize as part of the new green-focused Royal Regional Tour to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Reports suggest that plans are already being worked out to have the couple here, possibly as soon as March, for 4 days as part of the longer trip to the Caribbean. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.